Hello YouTube. Welcome from my stoep take 2. I normally don't do take 2s, but apparently I was busy doing the video and talking to you the full video, the full Monty, and then suddenly the card was full, the video camera memory card. So I thought I could just add that, but I realized I can't actually figure out what I said after that. But any case, so yeah, what a week actually too that I had. Hectic 10 days running around trying to make some money. Filing my taxes. I can't help but thinking about the presidential debates and tax filing and lost emails and things like that. But in any case, so I'm back, and sorry that it took so long, but it was really a busy time for me. As you know, I'm not sure whether I've mentioned it, but I'm also now busy with transferring of tourists from the airport to lodges and back, which I enjoy a lot. And it's very interesting because I get to meet a lot of people from a lot of different countries, Belgians, France, Greek, USA, all kinds of people. And in the hour to 3, depending on where they're staying, we get to discuss a lot of things. And one of the issues which we discussed was obviously politics, but not politics. I always try to discuss politics with them, not their own politics, but a neutral kind of politics. So. And kind of in general, and tourism and exchange rates and all kinds of things. But the one thing that I picked up from quite a few discussions is what I would like to discuss today. But before I go on, shout out to Jesse and Jason Lemaire. Before I forget, Texas smoking, yeah, me too. So. The one thing that I was, because of these discussions, I went and read on a little bit, try to refresh my memory on what I studied about 6 years ago on democracy and governance and things like that. And there's broadly apparently 2 kinds of democracies. And a third one, which is hybrid, which can come in quite different forms. The one would be a presidential democracy, which is like the USA, where the parliament or Congress or whatever you want to call it, the legislative body, cannot really fire a president. Is elected by the people, and it's kind of a different process than the normal, the other process where your governors are selected by in different elections. And then the parliamentary democracy is like the UK, and we've got a hybrid, so I'll get to that now. So the parliamentary one is one where the queen or head of the country is often a symbolic feature or a ceremonial feature, not directly involved in politics and running the country, but then the parliament will elect the prime minister or president, and then he can also be fired by the same parliament. So that's very generalized, roughly kind of a summary of the 2. But the one thing that was interesting to me was then the hybrid system. Well, both systems, the presidential and the other one, has got advantages and disadvantages, like anything in life. So we haven't got the perfect system yet, whether it's a social democracy or a presidential or a hybrid or whatever. It looks like we haven't got it yet. The one thing that I like about the parliamentary one is the direct responsibility of politicians to the elect, or to the electoral, to the constituency. Whether they actually fulfill those responsibilities, that's another question again. In South Africa, we don't have direct constituency responsibility. There's a list of a top 400, and the amount of seats would be the amount of people. Advantage is that you get the more senior people in Parliament. The disadvantage is there's no accountability and direct answer or accountability to constituencies. And I think we miss that currently a lot. But again, as I said, even if there is accountability, that's not necessarily working as it should all the time. But that's not my point today. My point today is, I get the feeling from discussions and from the developments that the past year, the American election, the Brexit, and the things in the EU and all kinds of countries, all over the world, and also things that's happening in our country. I get the feeling that the general public is kind of fed up with the fact that democracies or governments are not necessarily being run to the benefit of the country and the people who voted them actually in. And I think that's why we get those kind of votes that we saw. And also in South Africa, for example, you will get a municipal election, and a week after the municipal election there will be protests. I mean, why did you vote for them? The way to voice your dissatisfaction is to not vote for the ruling party. So, yeah, that's my first thing. My first question is, it looks like there's a worldwide frustration from people. And remember, democracy is for the people, by the people. Or there's quite a few definitions. You can also say one man, one vote, and all that kind of things. But the point is, a democracy is voted by the people for the benefit of the country and the people as a whole. So yeah, that's my first point. There's a growing frustration. My second question or point is, being informed. I'm lately wondering about whether all people are informed enough to make the correct decision in terms of voting. And it's coupled with emotion, and we've seen it in Africa, in many elections in Africa, where there were a liberation movement who became then the ruling party. For many years, that ruling party stayed in power and in government, not necessarily because they were the best, but because of the emotion of people voting for they've liberated us. And I'm seeing it in our own country, and I'm seeing it also in other countries. So, and even the first world country with all the availability of informedness, the UK, a lot of people did not realize what Brexit actually meant and what was the result and what would be the future implications of it. So it's just all part of my second idea is, our informedness or not, how can that be, or can it be resolved in any matter? And how does it affect the real, the outcome, the governance of the people and the country? And I feel I haven't got an answer, because I mean you can't say that if you a lot informed, then you get 2 votes, and if you're less informed, you get one vote, or things like that. You can't really do that. But you know, there's kind of a responsibility on us as voters to be informed of what goes on, and to take away emotion and choose whatever you think is the best for the country. My third idea is, how about rotation based? That's not democracy, but I'm just wondering, how about ruling on rotation? In the USA, it's very close to rotation. I mean, it was 2 years now, two periods in a row, democratic. But if you look back in history, there's a very close relation to rotation basis, which I think is not a bad idea. I'm thinking whether rotation governance might not be a solution. And if they do well, then give them another term. If they don't do well, then kick them out and get another one. But there's something in there for me, which I think, yeah, but then it's not democracy, but yeah. So yeah, just a few questions that I would like to think about, and but my next video, I think I will do about the developments in my ministry in Gaskop. And I'm very excited about that ministry, so I think I'll share that with you in the next video. So yeah, that's it. Another thinking video. Leave your comments. I would like to hear what you would say about these things. And if you want some videos on reviews or other topics, please let me know. I'm a very curious person who will go and research on things which I didn't know, to think about it and to mention it and to give some back feedback. So thank you for watching, and enjoy your pipe. I'm enjoying a homemade blend of Navy Flake, Latakia, Early Morning Pite, and my Mixture 965, because I didn't like the Navy Flake that much, and it's actually not too bad. So thank you for watching, and enjoy your pipe, and yeah, subscribe. See you later. Bye bye.